Hi, I'm Lori at Positive Thanks Living. This is part of a collaboration, resetting our craft rooms in 2026 with Cara Brandon and Dana K. White and many other wonderful crafters. I've been watching their videos all month. Now it's the fourth week and we're talking about maintenance and momentum. And I want to share with you a little bit about my craft room and how I'm choosing to organize and how I do things that it's been working okay. Usually you only see my hands. This is probably the first time that I've done anything in a video face forward, so good to meet you. Here's my craft room from the door. The table, that's my sorting and drop-off spot. The racks with boxes and drawers on, and my Cricut machines. The desk where I do my crafting. The computer where I stream YouTube videos, watch you do YouTube kindy things, learn from other people. And that's the door where I enter. It has my punches on there. They were in the closet. That's the door to the closet. But now the closet is just storage. Two things that were in there in particular now live in the main area. The closet is just storage, and I go in there only when I'm resetting what I want to do, finding extra paper, or going in there for things I use very rarely. That's why it doesn't matter that the table's in front of it. The sewing machine came out of the closet and lives now on that brown desk. And the shelf, it's new. I'm still deciding what I'm keeping on the shelf. I'm not real tall, so that's about as high as I can reach. And the brown desk you see there, I'd like to save my money and get myself some of those Alex drawers so I can keep things in drawers, because I decided last year I like drawers. This is my rolling cart, and when you hear the rustling or the clattering on a video, it's usually because I'm trying to get something out of my rolling cart. This is changed out every few months because of what I'm focused on. Right now it's mostly art supplies, mixed media stuff is in the cart, and more drawers there. I don't go into those very often. They're in the corner, and yeah, it's a little tippy with the computer on top. That's my crafting desk. When I make something, you usually see me working there, and with the windows and the natural light, it's wonderful. When I start a new project, I put the bits and bobs that I want to use into these white containers, and then they're at hand. In the blue container is usually my current project that I'm working on, and my glues and water and stuff is in that little white one. I'm working on Junk Journal January. I'm using 2 sets of prompts, one from Junk Journal January UK and the other one from Ink and Page Journals. This is almost done. Oh, we're almost at the end of January. Can you believe it? Crazy. Anyhow, the way I set up my desk is to keep my momentum, to keep myself moving. And at the end of a crafting session, the end of the evening or the day, I usually clear it off because it takes literally seconds to put what I'm using back in the baskets. Now this rolly cart is a secret weapon. I had started with Kathleen Moyer's idea of 3 sets of papers to use, sizes, and it slowly morphed into this. I reset the top and bottom for whatever project I'm using. Now you notice my Cricuts there. I was gifted 2 of them, but I want to use them more often. So out of the closet they came, and they're now on my shelving. The boxes that I have, they're banker's boxes, and they're labeled, or I know what they're in them. And then these drawers, obviously those are my washies. I love washi tape. So an entire set of those 3 drawers. And these are inks and implements for inks. And the rest is for little ephemera. You're going to see that soon. I switched out from a box or a container to more drawers because, yeah, I discovered for me, drawers help me. I like them. They're easy. Now, I can't have everything displayed in my room. I'm the type of crafter person that the container doesn't have to be organized inside, but it has to be contained. So that's why Dana White's concept of if the container is full, you've got to get rid of something if you want more. That works for me. And here, just basic ephemera that I will use. I'll put into those white little containers and use for the projects that are upcoming. So what makes it easier to return to my craft room and find my ability to be creative just waiting for me? That question, it led me to something I'm calling momentum keepers. It's about having small, quiet choices that protect my creative momentum without demanding extra energy that I don't have. Maybe you don't have either. Yeah, they're not productivity tips. They're not about finishing faster or doing more. They're about leaving a kindness behind for our future self. Yeah, tomorrow me. Little signals in my space that says, you're welcome here and you can start anytime you want. And maybe the most important reframe of all, momentum isn't output. Momentum is about returning. If you and I came back to our tables, even briefly, for a minute, our momentum to craft is already there, it's alive, and it's waiting for us. So for the rest of the video, I'm going to share 8 little gentle ways to keep momentum going, especially after a reset. Not pushing forward, but making it easier to begin again. And I'll show you my spots that are set up for this momentum. Maybe only one idea might resonate with you. Maybe more, I don't know. They're just ideas that you can listen to, notice, and you can keep the ones that quietly say yes in your spirit. Maybe you'll have your own idea to add, and if so, just leave a suggestion in the comments. First, I showed you my craft room, and I don't remember if I told you it's the 3rd bedroom in our house, and it's just Rob and me here. I'm fortunate to have a whole room to craft in, but I do know what it's like to craft in the small space of an RV, sharing an office with my husband. Poor guy, I encroached upon him constantly. I've crafted in basements and in dining rooms, and yeah, what's remained normal for me are the banker's boxes that you see on my shelves right now. I'm the type of person who knows what's in every closed box. Sometimes I label them, sometimes I don't. And I can't have things lying around, otherwise that zaps my creativity. Unlike some of you, I'm positive. You like to see everything you have so you know what you have. I know, I just can't see it. Neither of us are right or wrong. It's just part of what makes us unique as crafters. Just so you know, what's in each box, it isn't organized at all. And I've found Dana K. White's idea that the container determines how much you keep. that idea for me is very liberating. Right now, I've put on hold collecting any more till some of my boxes are not quite as full. So my general spaces in my craft room include my drop-off and staging table. That's the one I showed you at first, the one that's in front of the door to the closet. And my work table. It's a dedicated space that I work and I film. I have shelves for my boxes, and I shop from them when I begin a new project. And a lot of drawers. Last year, I realized I love drawers and I love things on wheels. I have rolling carts for tools and papers. And yeah, you saw my closet. So here's my momentum keeper during my daily or weekly crafting. Before I end my crafting in the evening, I leave one spot on my desk with an unfinished item. It's on purpose, unfinished. It's where I want to start again. Why do I do that? Because momentum, it likes an open loop, an unfinished edge. It invites me to return a lot more than something that's completed. I've heard that writers do the same. They stop in the middle of a sentence when they're writing something, so that when they come back, the easiest thing to do is to finish the sentence. And number 2, I keep an invitation service. And that's the table that's in front of my closet. It's clear and it's ready for temporary chaos. It's my place I drop things off. If things need to be put away, it goes on that table. And sometimes it's piled high. I'll show you a few pictures. But pretty soon it'll be clear because I know where everything goes. And then the third momentum keeper is I keep a visible soft project, meaning it doesn't have a deadline. It's just one that I do when I don't feel like completing anything. It's just something that is a happy playing for me. Right now it's finishing a magazine style journal. I'm going to finish it with bits and scraps. And it's a movement of hands to make me happy. So I have a spot where it goes, and I just pick it up or put it down at random. Number 4, creativity momentum hack, I guess, is I reset with the concept of curiosity. What am I curious about? What would I want to return to play with? They're usually things that I haven't used in a while, or new things, or just there's a tingle in my brain and I think to myself, shall I play with this? So I set it out so that it's available. And the 5th one is I keep a tiny yes basket or a cart. So it's a basket of things that intrigue me and work for me. That's my 3-tier cart. There in the middle tier is my favorite papers, colors, textures. I just can grab from there. I don't require any thinking. And the top one are the things that I'm currently involved in. So they go with the project I'm working. And the bottom one. So the top one has a basket with all the little pieces, the things I've cut out. And the bottom has the larger pieces. The 6th is I store tools where my hands go, where they naturally reach. It's not arbitrary. It's where my body expects them to be. You know, you turn and, oh, that's where it is. And before I shut down my crafting for the day, I have an actual phrase, but I'll talk about that next. So before I do my shutdown phrase, I return everything to the spot where I expect to find it. And then the seventh momentum keeper. It's about mindset. And I got the idea from a fellow named Cal Newport. He's a computer science professor and a writer, and he champions deep work, digital minimalism, and boundaries around our creative aspects. And he has this phrase that he says at the end of his workday. It's end the project, or I forget, shut down phase. I don't know. And I thought about that for crafting, and I thought, yeah, that would be helpful. So I have a few I'm trying out now. I'll put the list in the description, but one of them I use is everything is exactly where it needs to be. Another one is I can leave this now with gratitude. Another one is I'm leaving myself an easy beginning. Another one is pause and go rest now. Probably the most effective so far that I've been exploring is this is enough for today. And then I leave the room and it's like my brain is shut off. So that's the seventh momentum keeper. It's a mindset. And the eighth is to give myself credit. And I'm defining momentum as returning to craft, not output, not how much I've accomplished. Life is full of things you need to accomplish. And not saying that it doesn't enter my working time, but you came back, even briefly. Momentum is alive. You live to craft another day. And it's peaceful or excited. So momentum is return, not output. So those are my 8 current maintenance and momentum keepers. Creativity is about curiosity for me most of the time. So I've set up my space to honor my curiosity, what I want to learn about. For a while last year, I learned about layering. I would watch videos of people who are really good at it and try and develop my own style. So the curiosity is an inside kind of drive. But maybe you craft for a sense of calm, or for a way to keep your hands busy, or maybe you want to make things to give away or sell. So thinking of others drives your creativity. We all are different. And it's guaranteed will change or shift as time passes. And because nothing stays the same. That's our guarantee. But knowing why we craft and the purpose of our crafting in the large sense can be a great benefit when we're resetting our spaces. And knowing our crafting style or crafting identity can be a huge benefit. When I was watching the first reset video from Dana and Cara, there's a link below. It's week 1, Start Fresh. Dana said something starting just past the 14-minute mark, a point that stuck in my brain from that moment. She talked about knowing what items we love. For example, I'm an antique lace kind of crafter, or I'm a Dollar Tree kind of crafter. And using that identity as a guide to what we keep in our room, our craft stash, and what we let go to some other person. That really caught my curiosity, so it sent me down a rabbit hole, another one, about finding online quizzes just for fun about art style. So there's a couple of links to those. They're free. They're totally not scientific. And it made me think, gee, we need one for junk journalers, don't we? Leave me a comment if you'd like to do a quick non-scientific quiz to see what kind of junk journaler style you are. So thank you for watching this video about momentum in our craft room, and leave me a comment. Let me know if anything resonated with you. And for now, take care. I'll see you on Friday. I make videos twice a week, Fridays and Tuesdays. So, see you soon.